and welcome to We Are Live.
No broke-ass accent today, huh?
Hello, governors.
Nope.
Live we are. You want to explain what just happened there, Denman?
That's a
Mr.
part.
Oh, I hear sounds all the way in East St. Louis. Now I'm going to freak out. Tell everyone just what just happened. Tell everyone just happened. You were tuned into your own show live on your laptop.
I do 50 things throughout the show, throughout the live stream.
Yeah, you do.
I'm emailing people. I'm setting up meetings.
Yeah.
I'm inviting people to watch the show. I'm interacting with folks.
That's what's happening.
And I forgot to turn my sound off just now, and there's a slight delay, so enjoy that. Good morning, everybody. It's Chris Denman and Travis Terrell. We've got the live stream on Facebook rocking. If you're listening on iTunes, what's the future like? That's what I want to know.
What does the future hold?
Lots to get to today. We have a very exciting show. First off, shout out to Chris Sear of Impolite Company, who just came in, did his show here. He'll be here 3-4 days a week with Yale Hollander, Sam Lyons. So excited to have our friends here at Midcoast Media. Yeah, man.
My three favorite people.
Two. Okay, which one don't you
like?
I'll
let them guess.
Okay, yeah, here we go. Today's show will be a very fun one. We have Alexis Zotos from Channel 4, KMOV. Familiar, Trav?
I am.
I had to get I almost said another call letter thing.
Thank God you
I was
didn't.
real nervous about it.
Alexis Zotos of Fox News. What?
Nope.
No.
Alexis, she's got a lot of very cool things happening. We've talked to her a few times.
She's a great follow on Twitter.
Yeah, and it has a podcast out called Meet St. Louis. She's going to be live in studio in the second hour, so we'll be sure to get all of our embarrassing stuff out of the way the first hour.
Like hell.
And make sure that she's not subjected to that. She went to USC, Travis?
Oh, University of South Carolina.
Nope. Not known for their journalism.
Well, when she comes in, I will remind her that she is a Gamecock. So she's just going to have to correct me several times throughout our interview.
She's a Trojan. So
okay, we'll see about that.
We'll have Alexis in studio. Very excited to have her in. Big thanks to all of our sponsors like Tech Electronics. Outfitted this studio. Rocking and rolling, baby. Local business, keeping us all on track. So big thanks to them and all of our other great sponsors. Today on the show, we're joined with Chris Gardner. He's kind of like the conjoined twin that won't go away.
There he is. Hey, bud.
Oh, new placement. He took John Beebe's advice. I like that.
For today, we'll see.
I'm gonna side with Beebe
probably
on
gonna
this.
veto
I like
this. And
Travis
go the
can't
other
do
route.
Travis can't do the mic thing. Actually, if he did it, if you go under the table, Travis, it looks like it's really long.
What if I stand up?
No, it just looks like I don't have a body, but I'm in a chair.
Yeah, it's
That is very true.
it does.
It is very, very odd. I'm going to side with Gardner on this. I'm fine with this for today, but if there is a vote, I'd like you down towards the bottom, if you know what I mean.
Because you're looking at me then, too.
Yeah. It's like I'm looking down now. I'm like, I got to look straight ahead. Now it looks very weird.
Huh.
I'm talking to a stranger.
If you want to
Unless we
text
put
in,
like a mannequin in that chair,
yeah,
so that I could have a body.
like a little avatar.
Oh, that'd be cool.
So I just some lower torso.
Where would you source your mannequin from? What department store?
What's the closest?
I believe Urban Outfits with a Z on the end of it. It's 2 blocks north.
Why are you being so ignorant and racist so early in the morning?
It's a store.
Outfit, you know
it's
it.
Connected to the pickle shop.
Damn well.
It's connected to the pickle shop.
See, look at you. See, that's ignorant.
Remember the pickle shop?
That's ignorant.
We blew it, man. Imagine a Traview with a pickle shop.
Well, they closed before they still had a website.
We could have saved them.
But the fact is, you're like a Utah Jazz fan.
Is that right?
That's what you sound like this morning.
Oh, assaulted by a professional
Yeah,
basketball
Utah
player while
Jazz
I'm just
fan.
trying to watch a game and enjoy it with my 4 wives.
Listen here. Y'all gonna learn to stop talking to professional athletes like y'all just ain't got no damn sense. Y'all gonna learn.
I don't agree with you probably, but I agree with you.
Welcome to We Are Live. That's the show in a nutshell, basically.
Yeah.
I agree with you, but I'm not.
Yeah, I agree, but not in the way that you want me to. That bothers me so much. I mean, stand next to a professional, stand next to a junior college athlete. If you're an average person in your 40s or 50s who hasn't done any sort of combat anything and you're mouthing off to a prime athlete who, even if they've never been in a fight, have the tools to dismantle you in mere seconds. Stop running your mouth at people that can kill you, okay? Don't do it on the road either. Somebody's going to kick you in the face.
For those who don't know,
You like the sound effect?
Russell Westbrook of the Oklahoma City Thunder played the Utah Jazz in Utah last night, and a fan suggested that Russell Westbrook.
That's a tough name for you, too.
It is, and it's going to be tough, so I'm going to call him Russell, and suggested that he
You kind of sounded like Gayle King there. Russell.
Thank you, Russell.
Russell.
The fan in Utah, and he's had some issues with Utah fans in the past. Last year in the playoffs, he almost got into a physical altercation with a fan who essentially leaned over his seat and had some extra comments for Westbrook as he was leaving the floor of a game, at the end of a game. And yesterday, a fan, according to Raymond Felton, his teammates, and other people associated with the Oklahoma City Thunder, the fan suggested that Russell suck his you-know-what. And
the black community does not respond well to homosexual remarks.
Well, they don't respond very well to most levels of disrespect, especially to that level. And it really added extra salt to the situation when apparently the woman that was with the man, we do. The woman that was with the man who made the comment also reiterated the same thing, which set Russell Westbrook off, and Westbrook had to be restrained. He had some very unkind words for the folks. Fact of the matter is, as Chris just pointed to, you really need to shut the hell up when you're at a sporting event and you're that close to an athlete. When I say shut the hell up, obviously cheer, root on your team, do what you have to do.
I like a little smack talk.
Yeah, and there's a difference between Westbrook, another air ball, you suck, bro, to, hey, you need to get on your knees and do your thing.
Fillet me?
Yeah, so I am pro kick fan ass. Whatever that movement is, I'm fully behind it. Gardner, you're a man of the people. You have gone to several sporting events. You have a sharp tongue. Have you ever thought about saying certain things to any player that you despised?
Not really.
Give me the psyche behind it, because you've been in live arenas for a lot of your career.
I've yelled at a player before.
But what was the thing you said?
It was, I don't even remember. It wasn't that bad. It was Brian Grauer.
Nice.
You son of
Yeah, I was sitting in the Mizzou section.
And you yelled at Brian? He's like a god in this city.
Yeah, I yelled at Brian Grauer.
Who the hell do you think you are? Did you apologize? Did you write a letter later?
Nah, he's cheap. He was cheap.
Gardner's just gonna have a podcast where we just yell at each other about KU basketball.
I like Kelly Thames as a person, but I mean, Grauer learned to flop from Kelly Thames. Kelly Thames looked like he got shot every time he took a charge.
What was the worst thing you've ever heard at a live sporting
event? I'll tell you
what,
my favorite one. I'll tell you my favorite one. It involved Ryan Klesko.
Baseball player, Atlanta Braves.
Boy, I'd like to see him in his prime go through a USADA testing pool.
Yeah.
He was like, let's see, the era you played in, and then he probably, what did he club? Did he hit 50 ever? If he didn't hit 50, he hit 35 to 40 a few times. And he should have been topping out at Chris Duncan levels.
I think he was with the Padres at the time when this occurred. It was at Busch Stadium. I was at the ball game with my friend Mr. Bojangles.
Of course.
And we were there for batting practice. And a couple fans were just giving Klesko all kinds of shit while batting practice was going on.
Right.
They yelled some things that weren't too nice, but then some of them were just dumb.
Right.
Like there was like a group of them standing together of Padres in the outfield, and like, break up the rock pile. And then there was other stuff came, and then
what is this, a convent?
Yeah, but they had. I'm trying to remember the more coarse stuff, but I really can't remember what it was. Yeah. I just remember it escalated a little.
Right.
But then
when you say escalated, did that mean security came over?
No, it wasn't that bad.
Okay.
It was like
just rudeness increased.
It juvenile, just went from juvenile to incredibly
juvenile,
vulgar. Okay.
And so and it wasn't terribly vulgar.
Okay.
It was just juvenile.
Okay.
And Klesko floats back on a fly ball, gets to the warning track and catches it. And they said something, when's the last time you shaved, you lumberjack? And Klesko
lame.
Gets ready to throw the ball and then pauses and turns around and looks at the guys and goes, "The last time I shaved was when I shaved your mother's ass." And we all started laughing. Everybody, like the Cardinals fans, started laughing at these guys. And these guys were like shocked for a moment. They're like, "Oh, okay, yeah." And then everyone was rooting for Ryan Klesko the rest of the game.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's well done, Ryan
That's
Klesko. Well
So he
done.
turned
fourth
it.
wall broken down.
Right.
So he turned it on him, but also everyone had fun with it.
Okay, that's
pretty
So
amazing.
he actually made fans that day.
interesting. What was you say? You had the worst?
Oh, I'm embarrassed. I'm pretty sure I was at a junior college basketball game.
Oh, Chris.
And was barking at a guy that I had played against, but I had maybe engaged in some underage drinking.
Oh boy.
And was probably with a group of people that I was very confident in our physical abilities
Jesus, didn't
together.
just like you're checking off every bully checkbox right now.
I like saying I've never been
protected
a bully.
by your other large
Yeah.
white friends.
Oh, there was black guys in there too.
Oh God! Now he had an interracial group of people he wanted to bully.
We were an interracial gang.
Oh God!
But no, I for sure was screaming. I was like, "Well, you were supposed to go to a bigger college or something about an ACT score," and then I felt bad about it ever since. Probably felt bad about it about 10 minutes after I said it, because the gym was probably like a quarter full too, so that makes it more awkward.
No,
I'd like to apologize.
The reason why I even feel like I feel embarrassed for people when they go to those lengths to say certain things to athletes, because I've said it one time at a baseball game. It was Tina Martinez. I remember it.
You can say anything. You're covered.
But in this situation, I just said, Tino, you suck. That was the only time I've ever jeered a hometown player, and even in that moment, I felt, I probably shouldn't even said that.
Right.
Like, so I don't understand how people can be that close to, as Chris just described, apex predator athletes
Right.
and say some of the things that people say, and to do it and then cry foul. And the guy who said those things to Russell Westbrook last night in Utah then goes to the media and puts up this, well, I didn't really say anything, and actually he just overreacted. You know, he's the kind of guy that, oh, well, now the camera's on me, the lights are on me, the attention's on me,
Right.
and now it's, no, I didn't really say those things. I think he misinterpreted what I said. That's where I really have a problem, because look, own it. If you're going to be the guy that tells a major athlete that, hey, you should suck my whatever, then you should own it. But for you to then go, well, I didn't really say. Athletes hear things all the time. They hear things all the time. So for you to just go, I didn't really say anything, I find that very difficult to believe.
I'm surprised the person's like, well, it's my freedom of speech. See, like a person like me too, personally, why would I heckle someone?
Right.
I've told you guys before, I've never really been in a fight, but I've been hit a few
You've
times.
been hit a few times.
Why would I put myself in that position again? I know how the story ends. Why would I? Like, it's just insane to try it again.
I just think the best reactions are the people when the athlete, and in this case, like Ryan Klesko, like the shock that, oh, I'm going to address the dumbass things that you're saying. And then the immediate shock that comes over people like, oh, he heard what I said and now I have to own it. What do I do?
We have a real problem with people not getting punched in the mouth enough.
It is.
And we have
There
a
it is,
real
Chris.
problem, and you can equate it too. And you said apex predator, so I'm going to take the Ryan Klesko example to stay on one side and not equate Russell Westbrook to an animal like you did. Nice. So, for example, Ryan Klesko, probably 6'5", 260, and may have been eating a lot of
his normal day was
horse
how,
protein.
let's say, Marcelo Ozuna would show up to camp.
Right, exactly. So people, they deal with that. It's the same damn thing where you pull on a lion's tail and you get upset when you get eaten. Like, that's what happens. Like, this is how people react. But
it's really
we have this crafted plush society where you don't have to deal with that.
It's like that white woman who jumped into, and she was white.
Could have been not white.
Who jumped into the jaguar cage and shocked that the jaguar attacked her.
Jaguar.
Jaguar go Jaguar. So it's weird. I don't understand it. Like, if you're going to do it, at least own up. Own up to it. If you so big and bad, then step up to a world-class athlete.
But what if you're not big and bad and you've already done it? Then what?
Better be able to get naked.
Because here, well, I asked that question is because that seems to be percentage-wise the more likely scenario that we see in these.
I think it's the only way.
So it's fine.
Can we advocate
if you're
for
big
some
and
physical-
bad?
Can we be advocates for physical violence?
No, I think
that's what I'm asking. What should
and
happen?
I think the solution should be. So I think a team should be able to employ a MMA fighter.
Sure.
So that way, if
Those
a
guys
fan,
are always looking for extra work.
right. So if a fan does do what he did in Utah last night, Russell Westbrook can then go, I call red card.
Okay.
And so the MMA guy comes out, and the fan has to fight the MMA guy.
Can I discuss it'll be similar to a bully beatdown situation.
Yes.
We won't allow anyone to get their neck broke.
Right.
Probably going to get a couple bats, aka leg kicks. Get
Yes.
a couple leg kicks on your thigh that'll be bruised and make you limp for like 2 weeks.
Right.
So I think that's fair. And then it's the limp of shame. You're walking around the office and like, Mark, what happened? Got a little lippy after a couple drinks at Busch Stadium, and Bam Bam came out.
There should be
weird.
in that situation, just to save myself, that's when I might have to go Greek style. That's where
Now,
I
but
just
then
take
do
off
you
all my clothes and say, fight me. And see if that person would accept. Or know that I'm going to go down quick.
Right.
At least that's my plan. Like, no matter how hard they hit me, I'm going down, and I'm just going to stay down. So I just want to go at them so that I can get in tight so they don't get a full extension, maybe on a punch on me. So I just want to get in, and if they touch my face, I'm down.
That's fair.
And then I'm not getting back up.
That's the
I'll do like a fake eyes rolling back in the head, like, oh, maybe arms go stiff, like I've had a concussion or something. Like I will try and act my way out of it. I do realize if I'm that person, I'm probably going to need to get hit at least once though to completely sell it.
You cannot. There has to be consequences though. There needs to be. I think Westbrook talked about that last night during his press conference, is that there has to be consequences for fans who cross that line, because players can't cross that line. And I think that's why fans feel so comfortable saying some of the things they feel, because they know there won't be consequences for them. Like, there may be the occasional ejection, but for the most part, that guy is going to be back in Utah to watch their hometown team play in a couple nights. And that's not right. You can't sit up here and just completely go, suck my then nothing happens. Like in real society, as you pointed out several times, you get punched in the throat and possibly murdered for stuff like that. So for you to think that you can go to an arena and do it is just so wrong.
What about if we take a less violent route and we have comedians that excel with crowd work ready to go? So you deploy, the player pulls the card, comic pops up, just starts going in on the person.
I would go, I'm going to actually...
Because that could be more demoralizing. Because you're not going to beat a comic in a game of wits, right?
True.
You're going to say, Esther, was that all you got, huh? Bill Burr pops up, just starts going in on you and your homely wife, and discussing that you probably had to, maybe sell a PlayStation to get the tickets for tonight. I like that idea, too.
I think I'm going to, and Gardner, you won't understand this reference, I'm going to be like Cersei Lannister. I choose violence. I want that ass beat. You're not going to sit up here with my family in the stands, with my child in the stands, and you're going to go...
you're going to bring a child into this.
Oh, I'm bringing everybody into this.
But you don't have a kid.
Okay, calm down there.
Okay.
You're one of them fake tough guys. Everyone can tell that.
No, I can...
I know plenty of them.
I will throw a chair and run out of a room as fast as anyone.
Yeah, that's my strategy.
That's all. That's not
Can't
the
have
play.
two of you. You'll run into each other.
I will kick you in the knee and run.
Gardner, that's my play. No, that's my move.
I will hyperextend that knee and run away.
Okay, now
Couple,
you brought it up.
Best case scenario.
Oh, boy.
Couple of comments to get to from the Facebook feed. Good morning, Walnuts. Chris has his Lane Bryant blazer on today. Jamie Moyer's fancy for it.
Is that a woman's suit? Oh, man, you got on a woman's suit. Hey, man, come check it.
Confidence met with elegance.
Those pants don't have any pockets.
It's a live read for our newest sponsor, Lane Bryant.
I should say as well, and I forgot to. Good morning, gentlemen.
Uh-oh, here we go.
Good morning, walnuts.
Hey, yo, put them up. Put the W's up. Walnuts.
That's all.
By the way, can we zoom in on that? Look at that. Look at that.
It's
called a filter. People watching at home. He's flexing into the camera.
I love this. And the best part about this, because Gardner mentioned it just a second ago, I did almost hyperextend my knee last night. I played in a full game of basketball, full court, against high school. Oh boy, against high school students. And Travis was 3 of 8 from the field, 8 rebounds, 7 assists.
He kept track, huh?
Oh, I sure the hell did.
Were you the guy holding the ball?
What kind of competition was this?
Yeah, he said high school students. He didn't say varsity athletes. And they could be, high
They
school
were
students could be like incoming 8th graders that are 13 and a half.
Can we go to camera 3 because it's going to get a shout out to my boy Yale Hollander.
Okay, yeah, hold on 1 second.
Oh,
here.
no. You beat up on the Jewish kids?
I
That's not how they...
L'chaim.
You're bragging about your numbers.
So they were
You went and
Jewish high school basketball
went
players. That's beside the point. They still young.
That doesn't mean they're...
They're the,
They're
the chosen people. That has to count for something.
Name one NBA player that's Jewish. Name a college, Division I college player that's been Jewish in the last, I don't know, 20 years.
Sean Green.
Right fielder for the Dodgers.
I'm running out of Jewish athletes to name.
There's only the one, and it was the kid from Maryland who was a highly touted recruit. And that was like 30 years ago. 25? Maybe it was 20 years ago.
Israeli people don't count. I want American coddled Jewish person.
There was this kid, though. There was this kid. He had to be about 6'4". He was long. He was like Kevin Durant long.
Where'd he go to school?
So 6 feet tall. Go ahead.
No, he was 6'4", big kid,
skinny.
long, but he didn't have the tools. And I wanted to go put down the Torah and pick up the J's.
So instead, Travis was the old man. He kept, he'd pull his pants up, hold the ball at the top of the key, and start pointing for where all the kids should go. Like, hey, you go set up a screen. Trying to be Coach Trav out on the floor.
I did set up some
you
plays.
Were. Yeah, you did.
There were some plays were set up.
Here's what
it's
you're doing.
It's the coach in me, man.
Here's what you're doing. I'm going to set this screen. You just roll right
I set some badass screens.
Yeah,
it's
easy to do whenever you outweigh them
Keep track
by
of those
50 pounds.
stats too?
Oh, screen set, plays call. Absolutely.
How was your grittiness?
Like a 90. Isn't that something? Yeah, it was.
It can't
90.
be.
It was pretty great.
You're not white.
I got on the floor. I hustled. Ball on the floor. 50-50 ball. I got it.
Billy Fat Pants says, "Uh-oh, we've got another brother playing with 12-year-old white boys."
Is there going to be a documentary about you soon?
Man, next week's
was good,
amazing
Billy Fat
Great
Pants.
American Race is going to be rough. Did you see, just in time for St. Patrick's Day, Conor McGregor arrested at 5 a.m.
I mean,
Yesterday.
What did he do?
Man. What did Conor McGregor do? I
So
can't
that's
imagine
what
someone who threw a large item into the side of a bus would do something crazy. What did he do?
That's
Chris?
why
He's a victim.
That's why you tweeted at Garrigus then.
That's all it takes.
Okay.
I'm trying to help my friend out.
Garrigus, you
I
tweeted Mark
Garrigus.
Garrigus.
I saw the tweet.
Wait a
Mark.
damn second. Wait a
I
minute. You tweeted at Mark Garrigus after the Conor McGregor story. You son of a.
We've reached.
Not a bad play though.
We've reached a certain level in Conor's life. You got too much money and you can't stay out of trouble. I need Garrigus on retainer. I'd like to.
Now,
set,
can I?
set
Now,
that up.
now I want to, and I may actually side with Conor in this. So I'm
Now,
assuming.
let's play
Is
this
it like
game.
a Westbrook situation where a fan got lippy and got in his face when he was around his friends and family in a private setting, and Conor McGregor's like, "Get the hell out of my face! I'm gonna slap this phone." And then the guy did the punk ass thing and called the cops. Did I kind of sort of sum it up?
You may have. So the headlines that people were getting clickbait love from were Conor McGregor arrested for felony theft charge.
No,
right?
I took a guy's phone. I imagine.
At 5 a.m., looks like he was leaving a club.
Right.
And a gentleman took a photo of him, and he slapped it out of the guy's hand, stomped on the phone, and then picked it up and walked away with it. The guy called police, and McGregor cooperated and made bail. So that's where he's at. That's the whole story.
Oh, for South Beach, that ain't bad.
But the headline was Conor McGregor arrested for felony
I will. That's very light. And 5 a.m. guy's probably coming out of a club with his homies. They had a few cocktails. And the last thing you want, especially as a professional athlete, is have someone with a camera in their face. Sometimes you can ask a guy for a photo. Most of the time, they won't accept it. Whatever. You probably shouldn't be snapping random pictures at the same time.
How are you going to do that? What if it's not Conor McGregor? Like, what if it's just dude and you're just taking his photo?
True.
Like, that doesn't play well.
No, it does not.
Especially at 5 a.m.
With that being said, Conor McGregor has to realize that he has put himself in some very difficult situations, very stupid situations. So he's look, you're a world-class fighter. You make a ton of money. The cameras are always going to be on you. And look, we've talked about his past. This is still relatively new to him. Like, this guy hasn't been an uber star, right?
Less than 5 years ago.
Right. So this guy is starting to truly walk into his fame. And so it's an adjustment, but he has to realize that you're Conor McGregor, and you know any little thing you do is going to make headline news, and that's just not smart. He just has to be smarter than that.
He does, and he was in South Beach. I was like, man, he's down there. He was celebrating his mom's 60th birthday, so that kind of even sucks more.
Yeah, and that's one of those situations where he has to think through. Like, look, you're down there with your family, with your homies. Do you really? Is it really?
First of all,
I get the picture's annoying. Don't get me wrong. I think putting a camera in someone's face and taking a picture without their permission is absolutely
no, it is. But it's also like
out of bounds.
Listen, he should be able, if he wants to go and Playboy it up and hit clubs till 5 a.m. You're in Miami. Right. It's a beautiful place to do that. Come on, man. You got a kid. You got a lot of money, a lot of business.
People are looking for a reason to sue you, to bring charges against you.
Because now this could now lead to, there was emotional damage because there were photos of my fluffy dog that no longer exist.
Exactly.
Oh, well. So we'll get that.
But so in this particular case, I'm going to side with Conor McGregor on this one.
Can you clip that off, Gardner?
Oh,
I'd like that to do. We do segments on the show. One of those is Fair or Foul. We'll do that in the second hour. Gardner, you want to explain this? And we've got $10 to Buzz's Hawaiian Grill as your prize today. Always email wall@weareliveradio.com.
I saw a story, a headline from thehill.com.
Okay.
Oh, Yogi Berra grew up there.
He did grow up there.
Such an idiot.
Who else, Travis?
Community website?
Who else?
Michael Gaines.
Oh, that happened. Who else grew up on the hill?
What Hall of Famers lived on the hill at one?
You had Yogi Berra. Yeah. You had JoJo White. You had MC Hammer. Nope. I think Emmett Smith grew up in the hill. Yeah. I'm almost certain Richard Nixon grew up in the hill. Mm-hmm. I believe Halle
we
Berry
try to learn about your culture.
Oh, yeah?
And you don't even bother to learn about others?
I do. How many times have I seen The Godfather? And it's one of my favorite movies, so I actually know my Italian Americans very well.
Okay. All right.
You're welcome. Who else grew up on the hill?
Well, not grow up. I said the Hall of Famers that live there.
Who were the Hall of Famers that lived there?
Jack Buck.
I didn't realize that.
Joe Garagiola.
Okay.
They're all in the same street.
I didn't realize that. I thought, okay. I didn't realize that. I didn't know Jack Buck grew up on the hill.
It's denoted over there on the hill.
Okay. I love Jack Buck. One of the nicest men I've ever met in my entire life. Really? My hero. One of my broadcast heroes. The man was awesome. The man was pretty badass. If you've heard some of Joe Buck's stories about his dad. Yeah. Like, those stories are awesome about his pops. Mm-hmm. Like, that guy's a bigger legend than I thought. I love Joe Buck. I'm a big fan. Big fan of the Buck family in general. Okay. What I'm trying to say is I would love for Fox to hire me. Please, Fox Sports, give me a call.
Okay, that's all.
Give Jason Whitlock a job.
I knew there was a Whitlock somewhere.
Yeah.
I knew give Whitlock a damn job. I didn't realize Sambo
anything
was part
to
of
say
the
about,
resume.
Clay Travis or anything here too?
I don't acknowledge certain people.
Be a good before and after puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
Clay Travis Terrell.
Nice. I like that.
We get that on Wheel of Fortune, possibly.
Right, what the hell is this Fair or Foul?
All right, Fair or Foul. There is a new app out there, Travis.
Okay.
New app. An app that finds MAGA-friendly restaurants for Trump supporters. It's your Fair or Foul.
To the credit of...
Isn't that kind of snowflake behavior? Like, aren't all restaurants MAGA? Or are we just... This is somebody obviously cashing in.
To Jamie Crock's credit, he said yesterday on Twitter, tweet. He said, so basically a list of Cracker Barrels?
Very funny. Very funny. So email that in, an app for MAGA-friendly restaurants.
Yes. Is that finds MAGA-friendly restaurants for Trump.
All restaurants? I mean...
But did you see the term they use for it being MAGA-friendly for the app? It's going to basically be...
White-owned.
Their version of the Green Book. Remember I told you guys 2 weeks ago that the initial Green Book was designed was an actual traveler's guide.
It's a Zagat's.
Exactly, for African Americans during the 50s and 60s and 70s. Essentially, if you're going to the South, these are the places you can go without being hung.
So what should we call this book?
The White Pages.
The White Pages?
Who'd you steal that from?
I found it on Twitter, Chris.
There it is.
Yeah, because you wouldn't have made
Think I'm that witty? Come on now. So, yeah, that's interesting. It is Snowflake, but it is what it is. It's what it's come to.
We'll give you $10 to Buzz's Hawaiian Grill, and they will serve you no matter your political affiliation.
That's very true, Chris.
Buzz's Hawaiian Grill, great supporter of ours. We love them, everybody. You need to check them out. It's going to be nice out. Next few days, you can check out their Facebook page. Make sure you know where their location is. Turn your location on. Buzz's Hawaiian Grill is where you go for lunch.
By the way,
or
guys,
catering or
I don't think I
else.
emphasize this enough. 8 assists. 8 assists.
I don't.
Look at how I distribute. Look at how I got everyone else involved. 8 assists, and
You know why? You know why you have 8 assists?
Why is that?
Because you can't get up and down the court. Because you get the rebound, you
Just
use your
lobbing the ball. Yeah.
your flabbiness, I guess.
Wow.
Your
What?
girthy flabbiness
That is my protective.
to box out to get the rebound, and you're probably one of those guys now that has to just like outlet pass and let everyone else run, or slowly bring it up into the front court, pretend you're it's the coach and me.
Oh boy.
Set up the play.
Oh boy.
And then maybe you got a backdoor cutter and you just pass him the ball that's it.
He's really snowbirding, but he puts it off as like he's directing from a certain area.
This is the type of player I am. I'm the floor general.
Right. Coach Trav, you've stayed on one side of the court for 3/4 of the game.
Hey, man, I'm just sitting up here just making sure everybody else gets involved in the play, and that's what the game is about.
It's kind of weird that the, hop of Hick and Hop has no hops.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Good morning to you.
And what's up, yo? I voted for Obama.
Oh, boy. So at some point, we'll do a quality show.
Why does your face do that when you
I don't.
Do that again. Hold on. Do it.
What's up, y'all? And I voted for Obama.
Yeah.
That hurt.
Yeah. But I'm Hop, and he's Hick. Hick Hop.
Trav, I'm curious before we get into another segment.
We have a cool segment later. Is it this hour? We're gonna do it
We're
this
gonna
hour
do
or next hour?
Let's do it now. You want to do it now?
What's a cool segment?
It's the Traview.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, let's do the Traview. Do you have an open?
Well, yeah. You have to give me a second.
Give him a few seconds. In the meantime, let me go ahead and just set the
What are you
table.
gonna say? How are you gonna do it? What's the Traview about today?
Today's Traview is about
No, you don't have to do the voice.
Captain Marvel. So Travis, after his basketball escapades last
Yeah,
night,
third person, not necessary.
decided to make his way on down to the Gallery of Six and check out Marvel's latest, Captain Marvel.
Did you really go see it?
I did.
Can I see a ticket stub?
I don't carry around ticket stubs.
I feel there's no basketball and a movie in one night.
Sorry, man. That's how I roll.
You're not that.
I got to be in bed by 8:15 so I can have my 14 hours of sleep. Oh, this coconut milk is too much on my stomach. I've already watched my 4 episodes of The Office. Time to go to sleep now.
Why?
I'll sit up here and try to call me. Look, I'm sorry. I was out in them streets on a Monday.
The mean streets of what is that? Brentwood?
Yeah.
Clayton.
Yes. In a mall right down the way from a cheesecake factory. Fact of the matter is, I was in them streets.
Okay, so let's break this down.
Yes.
How many people were in the theater?
About maybe 12, 15 people.
Gardner, let's ask him later, see if he says the same thing.
Okay.
Did you get any popcorn?
I did not. I got
Soda?
myself a Zweckel,
Oh, you had a beer.
a beer, and a cherry limeade icy. Because the diabetes don't stop.
Got it.
When you're sitting in the movie theaters.
Makes sense. Okay.
So I went to go check out Captain Marvel, which of course is the latest Marvel film that
Can we
sets up.
play the open?
Oh yeah, I didn't know you were
Yeah,
ready. I
we
was just
usually-
stalling for time.
Yeah.
I'm yelling at me.
It takes 10 seconds.
Okay, well then okay.
You just got to let me switch over.
It's time for the Traview.
Okay, that's it. That's
Okay, thank you. So
It's well worth it.
I was charged with checking out and Traviewing Captain Marvel. It sets up, of course, the upcoming film next month, which is Avengers Endgame, which is the follow-up to Infinity War, the successful film from a year ago. And it stars Brie Larson, the very beautiful Brie Larson. Last time you saw her was probably in the movie Room, which she was nominated for an Academy Award. And she is an up-and-coming actress that's going to absolutely own Hollywood over the next 3 to 5 years. She's charming, witty, and just has the Hollywood look. So I was looking forward to this film because it goes back in time, Chris. It actually doesn't take place in present day. It goes back to the early 90s. So
there's a shot with a Blockbuster video there.
Yes, indeed.
Around.
And so it's basically kind of like a buddy cop film with her and Samuel L. Jackson, who plays a young Nick Fury, who would, of course, go on to be one of the leaders of
How's the CGI?
Avengers. CGI?
Is he looking young?
He looks, you know what? Samuel L. Jackson in general looks good right now, so they didn't have to go crazy. You learned a little bit about his origin story as well. We kind of don't know too much about Nick Fury throughout the Avengers universe, at least in the MCU, but we learn a little bit more about him in this film. But Brie Larson essentially plays the superhero who has forgotten her past. She doesn't know how she got her powers. She's not sure how she came to be. And throughout the film, she learns a little bit more about her memories and learns about who she becomes. A little bit of a plot twist. Halfway through the movie, you think a person is this, and they're not, and that kind of moves the film forward. The first act, I will say, of the movie, first 20 minutes, kind of shaky. Not the best film in the first 20 minutes. It's kind of campy, a little bit cheesy, but it starts to pick up in the second and third acts when she realizes who she is, and we find out who the real villain is, and things get very exciting. A lot of action, great CGI, strong storytelling. Mm-hmm. I think the reason why Marvel films, especially of recent, have been so exceptional is the casting. I think they do a great job at casting. Brie Larson is so charming in this movie. She, for the most part, kind of carries it. But you have Ben Mendelsohn, who plays the traditional baddie in other films lately. You know, he's the guy that's always the bad guy. He was the bad guy in Ready Player One, and he's been a bad guy in a few other films recently. But
was he in Iron Man 2 or 3?
No, he wasn't in him. You see the actor, you know who he is. He's been the
Oh, no,
baddie.
I know. He was in one of the Star Wars movies, maybe.
Yes, he was in one of the Star Wars films.
Yeah.
And he's, again, one of those actors that you just enjoy seeing him on the screen. You got Samuel L. Jackson, of course, and you even got a little Clive Owen action. No, not Clive Owen. What's the other Brit? What's the other weird one? Jude Law. There we go. Had to figure out my Brits. Got them confused. Jude Law's in it. And, of course, Jude Law. Who cannot love Jude Law? Have you seen those eyes, Gardner?
I have. I recall. Wasn't he dating or married to Sienna Miller?
Yes, he was. I don't think they're together anymore. But,
No,
yes, he definitely.
they are not.
He bagged that. So Jude Law is about that life. So all in all, it was a very enjoyable film. The end credit scene makes it very worth it. Not to give it away, but it's a beautiful setup for the upcoming Endgame film next month.
You want to take a look at the official trailer?
Yeah, let's check out the official trailer of Captain Marvel.
So, Skrulls are the bad guys. And you're a Kree, a race of noble warriors.
Heroes. Noble warrior heroes.
Your life began the day it nearly ended. We found you. With no memory, we made you one of us. So you could live longer, stronger, superior. You were reborn.
I keep having these memories. Something in my past is the key to all of this.
You know how to fly this thing?
We'll see.
That's a yes or no question.
Yes.
Would you like to know what you really are?
had a life here. What aren't you telling me?
You've come a long way, but you're not as strong as you think. This war is just the beginning.
I'm not gonna fight your war. I'm gonna end it.
Aren't you the cutest little thing? Aren't you cute? And what's your name, huh?
Fury.
What's you? I'll be back.
A very good film, and Annette Bening's in it as well. Forgot to mention that. She's absolutely great in that. She looks good. Samuel Jackson, that's a fun or a little bit of an origin story for him. The cat plays a major role to who he actually becomes. So for those who haven't seen it, make sure you go check it out just for the cat alone. I thought that it was one of the better rollouts of the debut of a new character of any of the Marvel characters they've had recently. I enjoyed it. I think right now they can't miss. They're just like it's a heat check at this point for that studio. Like they just cannot miss. Even like I said, it wasn't a like super A+ film, but it was still entertaining. Kept your attention the entire time. You laughed. You got some intense action sequences. I have to say, Brie Larson, baby girl, holla at me. Let's talk over a few things. See what you can do. Because I respect that ass. I give it 4.5 booties. Respect that ass.
That's a lot of booties for a movie that I'm seeing a lot of response. I need to see it myself. 80% on Rotten Tomatoes. That's a very good score. Seeing a lot where it's like, hey, great message, love it, love the empowerment. Take your daughters, take your kids, take whatever. I've seen a lot of just like bleh in the movie side of it.
I don't know what people. I don't know necessarily what people were looking for.
You could say
in this
the
movie.
same. Like Ant-Man's just like an entertaining morsel, right? Like
I think Marvel, what they do very well. You're gonna. So I kind of
the music in that trailer alone. Like I know exactly how that movie goes.
Oh, the soundtrack's amazing because you got early '90s again, setting the movie I believe in '94, '95, and so you get the early '90s soundtrack, which is a lot of fun for the fans who go see the movie. But I think Marvel does a good job as far as they set the Avengers up to be the super serious movies, and then the other films not only are just setups, but they have a little bit more levity, a little bit more jokes, more humor, more fun. And I think that balance is why they're so popular. They don't take themselves too seriously. So I think a lot of people maybe went into this film anticipating it to be very heavy because we're coming off of Infinity War, where, for those who haven't seen it, sorry, spoiler alert, where half of the Marvel Universe is killed. So you need that balance where you bring in a movie like Captain Marvel that's a little bit more empowering, inspirational, that kind of brings you back to why you watch the movies. She is considered one of the most powerful superheroes in the Marvel Universe. So naturally, she's going to play a big role in the upcoming Endgame film. So again, there's an end credit scene after the movie. For those who have not been to a Marvel film, please be smart and stay after the early credits because you're going to be rewarded with a very cool scene that sets up the very highly anticipated Endgame.
Do they have one of those end credit scenes for Black Panther too?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
I'll get there.
You'll one day, maybe, hopefully. I don't know.
You are such a Marvel fanboy, though.
I love it. I love movies that are fun. I think sometimes we go to theaters and it's just too deep or too serious.
That Fairley guy tried to make a fun movie, and you just bagged on him.
Boy, oh boy. They're fun movies.
A historically accurate fun movie.
Yes, thank you. Wait, what? I am a huge Marvel fanboy, and it's because they put out a great product. You have to look at their Cine scores. They're always A+. That's basically audience scores, aggregate of.
You just made that up.
No, not at all. But
you don't even know what aggregate means.
I just learned it.
Who cares
on my
about
way
the
to
Cine
show.
scores? I only care what that booty do.
The booty
and on
is
your
4.5.
scale
It is
1
solid.
to 5 booties, 0 to 5 booties even, you gave it 4.5 booties.
So at this rate, you will likely see Captain Marvel in 2023.
I wanted to point a few things out to you. I saw this tweeted out from a Reddit forum.
Okay.
Some Easter eggs.
Okay,
possibly,
there were some
and I
cool
wanted to
Easter
get
eggs.
your reaction to it. Okay.
Okay.
Samuel L. Jackson in the movie. Is this an Easter egg or not? You can see on the screen here.
I think it was an inadvertent tip of the cap. I don't think they purposely did that.
Oh, yeah, they did.
I think it just worked out
That's
that way.
amazing.
You think so?
Of course they did. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so there's some Pulp
Had to.
Fiction things here. And the reason I ask about this one, some would say, oh, that's just a normal angle for a driving scene. But
Right.
look at the suits, though.
It's very,
The
I think it's
passengers
smart.
both looking forward, and you're kind of like, oh, okay, maybe that is something. And then there's one other one, though, too. So what do you think about this one? Also a Pulp Fiction one. Right
Yeah.
there.
Now that is definitely a shot for, because in that same scene is Samuel L. Jackson. So he's actually conversing with Samuel L. Jackson while this is taking place. So yes, I would definitely say that was on purpose. And it was a pretty cool moment too. It's a lot of Easter eggs in this. And again, if you are a 90s baby or 80s baby that of course grew up in the 90s, you're going to really love some of the Easter eggs they dropped throughout the movie. And again, I am a Marvel fanboy, mainly because they make good movies. Like, I think the last movie of Marvel that they made that I was just like, I don't know about that one. That's kind of a miss, was maybe Iron Man 3.
Yeah.
But outside of that, from the very first Iron Man, even the first Captain America, to even a couple of Thor movies before Ragnarok, they have all been very solid films. And I don't know, what do you guys look for when you go to the movies, generally speaking? Because I go to laugh and say things like, oh shit, I didn't think that was going to happen. Like, I go to be surprised. I go to be excited. And I think Marvel
I don't want to
consistently
leave
does
down.
that.
I have trouble with that. If I'm going to go out, I want to enjoy myself.
Right.
So I'm not going to go like see A Star Is Born in the theater.
Same here.
I just don't feel like it.
Right. Agreed.
I'll do that one at home if I have to. What was it I watched last? Here's a stupid movie I watched last night. The other Bowling Girl.
See, you ain't going to the theater. Now, it's not to say I haven't seen that movie, so I'm not going to sit up here and trash it, but you're not going to the theater to see that because...
What about the other sister?
Which one's that?
Giovanni Ribisi and...
Do you watch these movies just so you can be, like, in the know, like Corolla, and... Like, Corolla brings these movies up, and you're just Corolla watches it, so I'm going to check it out.
I love how you think everything I do filters through Joe Rogan or Adam Carolla. That's
Gardner,
my
how
favorite.
close am I to saying that Chris does that?
I'll say 65%.
Thank you.
I listen
very
to Mark
much.
Maron all the time, too.
Oh, okay.
So now that
I
brings
stand
it up to-
corrected.
That brings it up to 85%.
But that would add Marin to the equation, and you never really get to that point,
that's true.
Travis.
That's
You
true.
never bring that
I'll
up.
get around to Mayor. I need to check his guest list so I can know where Chris is going for the rest of the week.
So, first of all, turds, I saw The Other Sister in theaters. I think it came out whenever it was that time period where I was going to the movies no matter what.
Yeah.
And let's see, The Other Sister.
I'm trying to think of the worst movie I ever saw in the
I
theater.
want to do an impression, but I think it's offensive to do it. It was 1999, so yeah, I would have been hitting the movies regularly.
This is because the girl is hot, right?
Do you not know the movie? Julianne Lewis and Giovanni Ribisi play mentally,
why did you
mentally disabled people.
Why did you go to that movie?
Fall in love?
Why were you at that movie?
Because that's just what we did. We would go there and then walk to Steak and Shake.
Why would you choose that movie? There had to have been
'Cause
other
it was
movies
there.
playing.
That was the
what
one
was going
showing.
on.
That was the only one showing. So
because you can only play basketball 12 hours a day. For my,
So
my
you
horse.
choose
My horse
a
is probably
movie-
And
tired.
me, Travis, I can only play tennis like 5 hours a day.
Who's in this movie?
Giovanni Ribisi, Juliette Lewis.
You saw
Diane
Giovanni
Keaton.
Ribisi.
I
the
remember-
Juliette
I
Lewis
don't remember
movie
when
in
you-
theaters as a kid.
Yeah. Well, I would have been 14, I guess.
Juliette Lewis, I mean, she was riding hot for a while, though.
Was she-
Giovanni
is-
Ribisi.
Is there a lot of nudity in it?
They played mentally disabled people. That
I'm
fell
trying
in
to figure
love.
out what motivates a freaking teenager to go see this movie.
29%.
You're going to
ain't
go
that
to Mr.
bored.
Skin and look up the other sister. Is that what you're going to do,
You're telling me,
Travis?
was there no arcade in Farmington?
There's a X-Men game at the front of the Walmart.
Jeez, oh God. Oh God.
There is an arcade. 29% from the critics, 71% of the audience.
Every terrible movie I've seen is because it was a girl. I was with a
Yeah.
girl, and that's what you did. You're like, you don't have because you're not really going for the movie. You're going to enjoy her company. Yeah, that's it. And so to go to, I don't understand people purposely going to bad movies on their own because they're bored. That's silly to me.
What did I see as a double feature? It was at a drive-in. saw RoboCop and Back to the Beach, I think. Back to the Beach. I was really young, though. But I watched Back to the Beach later in life, and that was really bad, I thought.
The worst movie I've seen in theaters, 13th.
It's got like Annette Funicello and that guy.
How did you end up
I
in
can't remember
We've
that
talked
guy's
about
name.
that I saw Event Horizon and Congo in a double feature back to back.
What a night. What a day. That's a lot of action.
We didn't leave. We just stayed for the
That
next
is,
one.
Those are like 7 hours worth of movies right there.
That with a combined like 13% on Rotten Tomatoes between the two of them.
Those are Congo had some unintentional hilarious moments.
Stupid man.
Yes.
Bad man.
Amy, ugly.
You know, at the edge of an Event Horizon, Travis, time slows down. Kind of proving that time travel is possible.
Okay. You know what?
Theoretically speaking.
We did the Traview.
Thank you. I'm glad you put that out.
We did the Traview. Things are going quite well. Let's take a break. Let Gardner do his thing. We'll get our guest in here, Alexis Zotos. You know her from KMOV and the Meet St. Louis podcast. We'll chat with her. We'll come back, do some fair or foul. The topic today, email in wal@weareliveradio.com, an app that finds MAGA-friendly restaurants for Trump supporters. That's your topic. Let's rock that out. You can win $10 to Buzz's Hawaiian Grill. Chris Demon and Travis Terrell, we're live on Facebook. And thanks. If you're downloading, be sure to share with a friend and keep the train moving, everybody. So quick break. We'll be right back.